Hey, it's been a good morning so far. I made it up and down my one little molehill of a mountain this morning, and I'm cruising along flat ground. It's going to be a lot like this today, just gradual ups and downs and stuff. So, I slept great last night. Wonderful night out there just by myself. I forget how much I really enjoy that, actually, just being away from all the other noises and people and stuff. And, you know, not like all the time, but just I slept well. I fell asleep to some distant thunder, you know, thinking that it was going to rain, and it did sometime throughout the night a bit. Not tons. I mean, the ground's certainly not saturated or anything, but I remember waking up a couple of times to some decent rain. But it stopped by this morning. Most of my stuff, you know, my tent mostly dried up and things like that, so that's good. Nice, cool morning. Very humid. Excuse me, but not as humid as it was yesterday when I was like just breathing clouds all day. So today, I mentioned this yesterday in my video, and nothing's changed. I have a couple of deadlines I've got to meet today. I have got to be to the Kennebec River a little before 2 p.m. Okay, just another trail. So I can get across, because the guy with the canoe and the ferry service quits at 2. So got to do that, and then I've got to get to the post office, which is just a half-mile away from there, by 4. And so that'll obviously happen if the first one happens. And it's really important that the first one happen, that I get to the canoe before 2, because the post office is only open from 2 to 4. So, as I said yesterday, if I don't get in there today, then I'm just sitting around waiting for 3/4 of a day for the post office to open again on the next day. So, anyway, gotta do that. So I was up early today, out of camp by 5:45, cruising along, feeling good, and I don't suspect I'll have any problem, you know, with the way the train's gonna be getting there on time. Not sure where I'm going to stay tonight. I will have done about 17 miles when I get to the post office, something like that, 17 or 18. And, you know, I would guess being there that early, I'll be sitting down, working on getting my box unpacked and, you know, organizing my stuff for a while. There's a little hostel near there that I might end up stopping at just to grab a drink or a snack or something. But anyway, my point, I guess, is that I should be pretty rested up. I don't suspect I'll stop at that point. I'd like to. My plan is to get all that together, hit the road by, you know, 3 or 4, and get a few more miles in before night tonight. So we'll see if, you know, if I really find that I have to kill myself this morning to get to the canoe on time, and I'm dead when I get there. I could always stay at that hostel, but there's not really any reason to, and I don't really want to spend the extra money. So there you go. We'll see how it all works out. This is the West Carey Pond, which is actually quite a large lake. So I believe this is East Carey Pond. And this won't be the last Carey Pond. So I guess all around here are all these ponds and large ponds or small lakes that they used to use for portage. I have no idea what they were portaging, porting, whatever the word is, however you say that. But maybe logs or, you know, whatever. But anyway, they used them for portage, so that's why they're called Carey Ponds. So anyway, beautiful though. Big mountain beyond everything there. All right. Very interesting. I'll put a picture of this at the end too, so you can wait and look at it then if you'd prefer. Well, I'm ahead of schedule. I had a little free time, and so I stopped here at the Pierce Pond lean-to, and filtering some water, and I had a quick lunch, and there's the pond behind me. Beautiful place to kind of sit. Nice cool breeze coming off of it. So anyway, time to get going though. It looks like I'll probably get into the river around maybe 12:45, so plenty of time. Stay, you know, take my time, get across, and half mile into the post office, I'll probably be getting there right about the time they open. So looks like it's going to work out well. It's funny, up here in Maine, at least this latter half of Maine, I mean, it's just so gorgeous. Obviously, you've heard me ranting about that, and you've seen the video and pictures. But I'm crossing, you know, paths with all these southbounders, and I just, right a second ago, crossed paths with another one, and, you know, where I was like, how you doing? How's your day going? Great. Weather's awesome, you know, beautiful views. And one of the things I keep finding myself saying is like, man, I think I just passed the most beautiful stuff on the trail. Like, you're going to have some awesome stuff to look at. And we talk a little bit about that, and inevitably each of the people says, but what I just passed was pretty awesome, so you might be seeing even better views. It's just, this whole place is ridiculously gorgeous and amazing. I've been following this stream down here that I think I videoed way back anyway, and it's just gradually connecting and getting bigger, and the things are feeding and whatever, and I'm also descending rapidly, and so no doubt this is going to feed into the Kennebec River. I say no doubt, and I'll probably get up here and be wrong, but it sure seems like that's where we're heading. And I'm getting down close, so I'm thinking I'm probably not far away from my river crossing. So the stream I've been following is right down over there, and it comes out, and out there is the Kennebec. And you can't see it too well yet, but I'm getting close. Here we go. It looks like right over there, maybe you can see, the guy just took somebody across. And he's getting ready to come back. All right, well, that was pretty uneventful. Real nice guy. Just going back and forth, taking everybody. So I was gonna maybe video going across, but he had a paddle for me, and so obviously I needed to paddle, so I did that. But yeah, anyway, you saw just a little old canoe, and I guess this guy and a handful of other guys kind of rotate in and out, you know, so they don't have to, they're not here. It's not one guy every single day or whatever doing this. But anyway, yeah, he's just got a little tarp down there set up that he can sit under for shade, and he just kind of hangs out and does his thing all day long from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. All right, well, I got here to the post office, and I'm a little early, about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes, and that's fine, you know. It'd be awesome if it was perfect, but if I had gotten here exactly on time, that means I would have been close to missing the ferry, and I didn't want that to happen, so I'm really happy with this, and you know, an hour is not too long to wait. So in fact, the door's even open for like self-service for people with P.O. boxes and stuff, so I'm going to charge my stuff in and let my battery and my phone charge up. And yeah, that's it. Just hang out here for an hour, maybe just kick back and close my eyes. You know, I walked up, and there's the hostel would have been on the left as I was walking up, and either I didn't look very closely or it's closed, because I mean, I looked around but I didn't see it. So I guess I won't be stopping in. I was hoping at the very least maybe to grab a soda or something, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I'm waiting in the post office, and you can see right in the middle of the screen there is a map of the Appalachian Trail. I have that same map at home, and give you some perspective. Right down here at Springer Mountain, that's where I started. Of course, up through Tennessee or North Carolina, you know, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. I'll show you all the way up. And of course, this is not a north-south map. They do it this way just to make it so you can get it all on one page. It actually would go more from the south west to the northeast. And up here is where I am at right now on that red dot, and that's where I have to go, to Mount Katahdin, so I'm getting close. Alright, got my box and my food to get me to Monson. Now I'm getting ready to get back on the trail, and like always I have some, well, I don't really have a conundrum. I really wanted to stay at the hostel in Monson, mostly because, well, I mean, I've heard great things about it, about Shaw's Hiker Hostel, but mainly I just was hoping I could get a bunch of information from them, you know, about what to do Baxter State Park when I get there in Katahdin, and you gotta get a campground and pay and get a permit and all this stuff anyway. But because of the timing, I'm gonna end up probably pulling into Monson, like walking into Monson around like early, like in the morning. So, you know, what am I gonna do? I mean, I think I'm just gonna have to hitchhike into town and get my box and leave, because I can't waste a whole day just to get some advice. So, I don't know. I'm working on that in my brain right now. Well, it's getting late. I told myself I was not gonna stop and video more and all that stuff, but my gosh. It just keeps getting better. Alright, time to find a place to go to sleep. Maybe eat something. Alright, well, I barely am off the top of that mountain, but I mean, I'm not even really. The top's back there a couple 100 feet, but anyway. Well, you can't ask for much better wide open space tent than that, so I'm taking advantage of it, even though it's only about 10 feet off the trail. There's the trail. But I do not care, man. I am done for the day. Been a long day. All right. Man. I probably didn't say this, but well, part of the reason it's a long day, I mean, I hiked a whole bunch, then I went in, I got my box, and that took a couple hours waiting for the post office people to get there, and then, unloading and doing all that. But also, then once I got most of the way up this mountain and I finally got a cell signal, I called into Shaw's Hiker Hostel in Monson, which is coming up in a couple days, and got that all set up. So on today is Thursday, so on Saturday morning, which is a little unusual, but that's just how the timing's working out. On Saturday morning, when they're dropping off people on the trail, they're going to pick me up around 8:30. Take me straight into the post office, which is only open from 8:30 to 11 or something like that, and give me a chance, that I can get my box, and then I'll just be hanging out there all day, and then leave on Sunday morning to head out into the 100-mile wilderness. Woohoo! All right. Good night.